This video is on sort and filter. If you click on the sort and filter command on the editing group of the Home tab, you will be provided with some of the commands related to sort and filter. You can find all the commands related to sort and filter on the sort and filter group of the Data tab. Let's start with sort. Sort allows you to order or arrange observations by one or more predefined criteria. Observations that have the same value for the field you are sorting by will be grouped together. For example, if you sort this data set by the period reporting field, you will have to decide whether you want ascending sort or descending sort. In both cases, observations that have the same value for the period reporting will appear together. Let's sort this data set by period reporting. To sort this data set by period reporting, select a cell in the period reporting field. On the Sort and Filter group of the Data tab, click on Sort A to Z to sort lowest to highest, that is in ascending order, or Sort Z to A to sort highest to lowest, that is in descending order. Let's sort lowest to highest. Because we are sorting lowest to highest, observations that have no value for the period reporting field have been presented first. If you scroll down, you will find observations with other values for the period reporting field. Only one observation belongs to day 1 period reporting. Let's expand this field. These observations have the same value for the period reporting field. You can see all the observations that belong to the same period reporting presented together. The last period reporting presented here is 1 day. To use sort highest to lowest, for example, make sure you have selected a cell in the period reporting field. With a cell in the period reporting field selected, on the Sort and Filter group of the Data tab, click on Sort Z to A or highest to lowest. This time, observations for which period reporting is 1 day are presented first, and observations for which there is no value for period reporting are presented last. It is also possible to sort this data by 2 or more fields. For example, you can sort this data by the state field as well as the period reporting field. If you do so, then observations that belong to the same state and period reporting will be presented together. To sort this data on the state and period reporting fields, on the Sort and Filter group of the Data tab, click on the Sort command. This will launch the sort dialog box. Because this data is already sorted by the period reporting field, you are provided with information on that sort. The column is the period reporting. It is sort on values and the order is Z to A. Let's change that to A to Z. The options on sort on includes values, cell color, font color, and cell icon. Let's add another level for the state field. This time the column will be state. The sort on is on values and we will stick to A to Z. If we applied this sort, then the period reporting field will be sorted before the state field. I want to sort on state field before period reporting. Therefore, with the then by row selected, I'll move that row up. You are also provided with other options here. You can sort top to bottom or sort left to right. In addition, you can indicate whether or not you want case sensitivity here. If your data has header, make sure to check My Data Has Headers checkbox. This data has header, so the checkbox is checked. You can delete a level and you can copy levels. With this done, click OK to apply the sort. Well, we have run into a problem that has prompted a sort warning. The following sort key may not sort as expected because it contains some numbers formatted as text, and this problem is with the period reporting field. This is a problem that have resulted from the fact that there are mixed data types on the period reporting field. Problems like this could have been avoided if data validation was applied for the period reporting field. In addition, you are provided with two options to choose from. You can sort anything that looks like a number as a number, or sort numbers and numbers stored as text separately. Whichever of these options you choose, you may not get the expected result. With the second option selected, I'll click on OK. From this sort, for example, you can tell that in Adamawa State, only 3 observations belong to a period reporting of 3rd November 2017. Next, you will learn about filter. A filter provides a view of the dataset such that only observations that meet predefined criteria are displayed. You can toggle the filter buttons for the field headings if you click on the filter command on the sort and filter group of the data tab. With the filter button enabled, you can select only observations that have predefined values in a field of your interest. For example, to filter or view only observations that have a period reporting of 3rd November 2017. Click on the filter on the period reporting field. Uncheck the Select All button and scroll to search for the required value, that is 3rd November 2017, and that's it there. When you're done, click OK. These are the only observations that have a period reporting of 3rd November 2017, and they all belong to Adamawa State. You can clear the filter for the period reporting field if you click on the filter button for that field and then select Clear Filter from Period Reporting. Alternatively, on the Sort and Filter group of the Data tab, click on the Clear command. In another case, you may be interested in presenting only the observations that have a reaction type of serious and an outcome of died, in which case you will have to filter the data set by the reaction type field and the outcome field. For the reaction type field, we are interested in the value serious. And for the outcome field, we are interested in the value died. Only one observation meets both criteria. Let's clear the filter again. It is also possible that we are interested in observations that meet one of both criteria. That is, either the reaction type is serious or the outcome is died. In this case, we will have to use advanced filter. Let's turn off the filter buttons on the header row to start. Next, I'll insert more rows above the header row. Next, I'll copy the header row to the top. What I am doing is set up a criteria range that will provide the information with which advanced filter will filter this data. The criteria range must have the same heading as the data set that I want to filter. And it doesn't matter where you define this criteria range. You will have to tell advanced filter where to find it. I have decided to define the criteria range above the data set that I want to filter. Since we only want observations for which reaction type is serious or outcome is died, we will define the criteria for both fields on different rows of the criteria range. For the reaction type field, the criteria is equal to, double quote, equal to serious, then double quote again. On another row, the criteria for the outcome field is equal to, double quote, equal to died, and double quote. That's it. All that is left now is to use advanced filter to filter this data set based on the criteria range. To do so, on the Sort and Filter group of the Data tab, click on Advanced Filter. On the Advanced Filter dialog box, make sure the list range is correct, then choose the criteria range. To choose the criteria range, click here and drag the mouse over the criteria range. The criteria range should include the criteria you have set for filtering the data. When you're done, click here. With the criteria range set, click OK. These are all the observations for which either reaction type is serious or outcome is died. If you set both criteria on the same row, then only observations for which reaction type is serious and outcome is died will be returned. We saw earlier that there is only one observation that meets that criteria. But if you set both criteria on different rows, then only observations that have a reaction type of serious or an outcome of died will be returned.